Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Hall of Fame Michael says right here, Whale Alert has reported that in the past 20 hours, an eye-popping 315 million XRP tokens have been shifted by a top-tier digital exchanges. Now listen, I think we all understand that this is probably feeding the on-demand liquidity market and corridors that are being used to settle XRP, or at least that would be my estimation, because we know 25% of the volume of on-demand liquidity is in fact being settled with XRP. I do want to remind you also that XRP is not being sold to exchanges since Q4 of 2019, and none was sold programmatic wise in Q4 of 2021, and they bought back over $321 million worth. Take a look at this right here. Brad Garlinghouse says he's sharing and retweeting a Bloomberg post here on Bitfinex where it says today's arrest and department's largest financial seizure ever show that cryptocurrency is not a safe haven for criminals. Brad Garlinghouse says here, to see a statement like this is incredible and reaffirming to so many in the space using crypto for good. After years of FUD that crypto is only for criminals, better watch out, bad guys, because they can catch you when you use crypto. Don't believe it, it's still true. Take a look at this here. 2 U.S. senators are joining forces to introduce a stock ban bill, making the latest step forward in a growing bipartisan push to address the issue of possible conflict of interest. Yeah, that's right. Legislators have been getting rich, namely Nancy Pelosi. I mean, hundreds of % gains. You know, this is the kind of thing that goes on. I believe they have a term for this. Oh, what is it called? Oh yeah, that's right, insider trading. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, about time we put a button on that. Look here, this is the U.S. Treasury Department's proposal for the new stablecoin law is dead in the water if today's hearing before Congress is any indication. This is from yesterday, but I want to remind people that it is being rejected. What was proposed by the undersecretary and basically the president's working group was to allow the banks to have complete control of issuances and reserves and custody of issuing stable coins, trying to take that away from the fintech companies that created stable coins to begin with. What a horrible, horrible thing. And I hope that they're able to fulfill that and not allow the Treasury to really give the banks that kind of control. Looking right here, this is a reminder from day and night. Former counsel and Securities and Exchange Commissioner Elad Roisman has left the agency to join Coinbase. Now, I did not know that. So this is breaking news for me, ladies and gentlemen. Former counsel of the SEC, Commissioner Elad Roisman, has left to join Coinbase. Well, congratulations to Elad Roisman. And, you know, there for a time, I was hoping he'd be a whistleblower, but nobody's done it as of yet. But I don't give up on such a thing. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Take a look at this right here. Speaking of glass half full, this started at 10 a.m. this morning. I watched it. And of course, these things can be very sterile, slow, and painful at times, but there was something in here. Before this started, I asked a question basically here. Shortening settlement cycles is one of the topics of discussion. As you can see, shortening settlement cycles here is one of the points. And I said, XRP Ledger, DLT perhaps? Well, it does not disappoint, ladies and gentlemen, because this is part one. And you are about to hear the clearance and settlement of securities with the use of blockchain and DLT are in fact proposed. And there's more to come with that. Let's take a listen to this clip and listen to them say it.
As my colleagues have. The clearance and settlement of securities transactions is sometimes referred to as the plumbing of our markets. And as with household plumbing, it's not highly visible. And when it's working, it doesn't get a lot of attention.
I may have an audio issue.
However,
Here we go. I thought I had an issue, but we don't. We're good. Check it out. The plumbing, the DLT, blockchain, it's all getting referenced here. Pretty amazing stuff.
As my colleagues have. The clearance and settlement of securities transactions is sometimes referred to as the plumbing of our markets. And as with household plumbing, it's not highly visible. And when it's working, it doesn't get a lot of attention. However, it is crucially important to the functioning of our capital markets. In January 2021, the market experienced significant volatility and high trading volumes in connection with the trading of certain meme stocks. Clearing agencies issued margin calls and additional capital charges on broker-dealers to manage the risks associated with the unusual trading activity. Some retail brokers reacted by restricting buying activity by their customers in certain stocks. These events raise numerous questions, including whether broker-dealers are adequately disclosing their policies and procedures around potential trading restrictions, and whether their margin and liquidity requirements are sufficient. They also put a spotlight on the clearing process. Clearing agencies are essential to managing risk, in particular, the risk that a trade will fail. They act as central counterparties for almost all equities and options trades in the US markets, serving as the buyer to every seller and the seller to every buyer, to lessen the risks associated with the potential that a counterparty to a trade fails to perform. However, unsettled transactions still carry risks, and the longer the settlement process, the greater the risks. Longer settlement periods are associated with increased counterparty default risk, market risk, liquidity risk, credit risk, and overall systemic risk, as you've already heard from my colleagues. The rules and the rule amendments we are proposing today would shorten the standard settlement cycle by 1 day to T+1, and should thereby better protect investors, reduce risk, and increase operational efficiency. While this change will entail costs, it has widespread support among market participants.
Okay, so looking at that, that's just the first clip. I want to give you the second clip, but a reminder, you're hearing it talking about the plumbing, and nobody complains about the plumbing till it doesn't work. Now, earlier in this hearing, they talked about the vulnerabilities that we discussed. The largest oil producer was attacked, cyber attack, right? One of the largest IT firms, and the GameStop issue, all of the narratives that we have talked about along the way that would become their reasoning for making a shift to blockchain or distributed ledger technology. And that's exactly what's going on here. Now, let me get the second clip up for you to hear here also, and check this out.
The ever-increasing pace of advancements in technology, including distributed ledger technology, further shortening the standard settlement cycle in the near future may be both desirable and feasible. Indeed, some such efforts are already underway. I look forward to reviewing comments on all aspects of the proposal.
By the way, some such efforts are already underway. Did you hear her say it? I want to hear it again.
The ever-increasing pace of advancements in technology, including distributed ledger technology, further shortening the standard settlement cycle in the near future may be both desirable and feasible. Indeed, some such efforts are already underway. I look forward to reviewing comments on all aspects of the proposal, and I'm particularly interested in hearing from market participants, as my colleagues have noted, on the potential for further acceleration. Thank you to the staff of the Division of Trading and Markets, the Division of Economic and Risk Analysis, the Office of General Counsel, and everyone else for all your hard work that went into this proposal. I'm pleased to support it, and I look forward to reviewing the comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Crenshaw, and all my fellow commissioners. Today, the Commission's considering proposals on several amendments to securities clearing and settling process. But one might, what Commissioner Crenshaw said, what one might call the market plumbing. And I support this release because if adopted, I believe it could lower risk to the financial system, but also drive greater efficiencies in the market. Lower risk, drive efficiencies. Today's release would do three things. You've heard mostly about the first, which it would shorten what's called the settlement cycle, shortening from 2 days to 1 day. Of course, because time is money, means that there's less not only risk, but less capital that needs to be put at the clearinghouse.
Less capital that needs to be at the clearinghouse. That reminds you anything? Eliminating pre-funding accounts.
Clearinghouses are intermediaries that help ensure that buyers and sellers in our markets get their securities or get their cash in case the other party fails. And they have lowered risk for the public and foster competition in the securities markets, believe it or not, since the 19th century, the late 19th century. And I, like Commissioner.
And there you have it. So listen, they go on to vote for this unanimously. So this is something that's going to happen. Now again, I started out in the front of this wondering if they would say XRP Ledger, which I really didn't think they would say. But I did ask if they were going to say DLT, and you know what? They did. And not only did they voted on it. This is going to happen. Now it's a question of what they're going to use. That is pretty remarkable to me. Take a look at this before we get out of here. Dark Defender brings up a good point. We've talked about it in months past. XRP flipped ADA, Digi, etc., but will also flip Bitcoin. This is the Game of Thrones, and the most unexpected will be crowned at the end. I believe this moment will happen eventually. And I believe everyone who is a Bitcoin maxi or invested in Bitcoin at some point will have to ask themselves, what will Bitcoin mean to you when it is not the #1 cryptocurrency per market cap? You will have to be forced to ask yourself, what does it do?
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.